Good morning. This is May the 20th, Monday 2024, and we are in BBA second semester, section A compulsory English class, where we are studying a new essay on the topic of intercultural communication. So this 12-page essay has been taken from a book named Intercultural Communication, a Reader. Intercultural communication, a reader. A reader is a collection of writings, particularly mostly essays on a certain topic. Okay? So, and the text which we are going to read is the introduction to this book. And the introduction to the book is titled as a model of intercultural communication competence. This is the lesson that we are going to read. A model of intercultural communication. So the key words here you will see is they are culture or the adjective cultural. Then you have prefix inter. Then you have the word communication. So what does culture mean?
The way of living.
The way of living. Okay, fine. We can say culture is the way of living. When you say Nepalese culture, you mean the way Nepali people live. When you say Muslim culture, you can say it's the way that Muslim people live. Culture is the totality of the values, assumptions, and beliefs held by a group of people. For example, if you get into, let's say, Newar community, in a village where most people are Newars, so you will see the Newar people have certain values about day-to-day life activities and values about what is right and wrong. They have certain belief system and they have some assumptions. Right? Assumptions are beliefs which you hold but you don't express. So there are three things in culture. Values. What is value? Value is something about which most of the people, most of the time, agree. For example, you should respect your teacher. This is a value in our society, to which, if not all the people, most people would agree. And most of the times they would agree that yes, there's no doubt we should respect our parents, for example. So the statement that we should respect our parents is accepted by most of us most of the time. So this is a value. Now what is a belief system? For example, if you see an empty jar, this morning I was walking down my house, the road, there is a slope, and two ladies came from the local, water sprout, and both of them were carrying water jugs. And I became suspicious. La biane duita khali bhanda dekhiyo ta aaj ke kharab hola. I became quite suspicious. I was uncomfortable seeing two jars. But then I find that one of the lady is carrying a jar full of water, and the other is carrying an empty jar. I said, "Aba kehi kharab na hola, theek hai, bada bari bhanda dekhiyo nahi." So look my belief. When I see an empty jar, I become anxious that something bad may happen to me. It is inauspicious or shubha, inauspicious. But when I see a jar full of water, I become happy because I take it as auspicious. That is belief system. So somebody can say it is what you call superstition. You can think I'm superstitious, but even superstitious beliefs are part of culture. Superstitious beliefs are also part of culture, right? My example may be unacceptable to some of you, but I give an example that this is a belief system in my community. So this is part of culture. Now assumption. What is assumption? For example, when I see you in the corridor, in the break or before the classes, after classes, you are my students. So I assume that you will greet me traditionally. I, as a teacher, assume that when you see me in the morning, you will greet me. And this assumption is true because most of the students, most of the time, when they see their teachers, they greet. But we never say, please greet me. So what is assumption? Assumption is a belief. Assumption is a belief that you hold but you do not express. And that is true most of the time. That is true most of the time. Okay, pay attention to your teacher. Now look at the assumption. My assumption failed. I assume that when I teach, you pay attention to me, and the outside weather is getting strange, so you are drawn to look outside the window. And it is a fault of lecturing. I am lecturing to you. I am not involving in activities. So that is what is happening. I am making you listen. And listening is a very poor way of learning. Alright? Okay. So I explained to you what is culture. And I said three things. I said there are three things in the culture. There are value systems. There are belief systems. There are assumptions. There are norms, as you said. What is a norm? Norm is something that is normal. Is norm. I was in the vegetable market a week ago buying vegetables, and about 10 feet away I see a beautiful young lady. She's very, very cute, and she's standing in front of a vegetable shop. And because she is cute, I happen to look at her. And then look what happens. I see that she is flirting openly with the people around. Then I become uncomfortable. Because look my assumption. My assumption is that women do not openly flirt people. My assumption. And she is flirting. Then I asked the shopkeeper. I asked him, the man there, what you Mahila Purush ho? Then he says, what do I do? Because he knows her. She is a third gender woman. She is a third gender woman, right? By face, she is pretty beautiful woman. But the shopkeeper says that she is a third gender person, right? Look my assumption. So what is a culture? Culture is values, beliefs, assumptions, norms. When that lady was flirting with people around, it was not normal for me because I haven't seen that in practice. I've seen men flirting with women, but I have not normally seen women flirting with men. This is culture. Now what is interculture? Inter means, if you say Inter-party election.
Two parties.
Two party at least.
At least two
Inter-class
parties.
competition.
Two or more than two.
Two or more. So inter means two or more. So intercultural means between two or more cultures. Look, like right now I'm teaching and you are tending her hair and she is making a video, and this is not a good thing because you are not paying attention to your teacher. Right? I understand you love doing what you like doing, but that's
Multitasking.
you are not paying attention to the teacher. And one most important thing in particularly teacher-centered classes is your attention is very important. I remember in my class 9 over there was a slogan in class 9, and the slogan said, चित्त एकाग्रता आत्म साक्षात्कार की कुंजी है. Meaning, if you have self-concentration, you will have a better self-understanding. Self-concentration is the key to self-understanding.
Yes.
And I'm emphasizing on attention. It's very important to pay attention to what the teacher is saying, what he is presenting. Okay, intercultural. Now communication. Communication comes from the verb communicate. Communicate. Right now I'm communicating the meaning of these words to you. Right now I'm communicating the meaning of these words to you. So to communicate means to convey an idea from one person to another person. To communicate means to send a message from one person to another person. To communicate means to pass a message, to send a message, to convey a message from one party, one group, one person to another. Now what is competence? You have the word compete, not very exactly, but competence is
Difficulties.
your ability to do something in an expected way. If I ride my motorcycle and I hit somebody, a pedestrian, I don't have riding competence because I met with an accident. If I write an essay and it is replete with errors and mistakes of the grammar and punctuation spelling, I don't have writing competition. If I teach you in class and my spoken English is incorrect and I can't speak fluently and I speak a lot of Nepali, I don't have speaking competence. So competence is your ability to do something in the desired way, in the expected way. You can perform something in the way people expect you. That is competence. So what is intercultural communication competence now? The ability to talk successfully with the people from another culture. Let's say, what is intercultural communication competence?
The
ability
to talk successfully
to talk with people
from
another
culture.
Or your ability to get things done with people from another culture. Okay. Now let's get into the essay now, or let's say this 12-page introduction to the book.
Intercultural communication competency.
It is titled, let me write here, a model of intercultural communication competence. A model of of intercultural communication, competence, Brian H. Spitzberg. Who is the author? Brian H. Spitzberg. Now let's talk about the title. Okay, everybody, take a mobile phone out, and in a mobile phone, check the meaning of the word model and write in a note copy. Check the meaning of the word model and write in a note copy. Write it, note it down. In a note copy, write it down. Write it down. If there are lots of meanings, write at least first 3 meanings. Write at least first 3 meanings. If there are lots of meanings, write quickly. Write at least first 3 meanings. Write at least first 3 meanings. Quickly write at least the first 3 meanings. Done? Have you written? Okay. So one meaning we get is a 3-dimensional representation of a person or thing or a proposed structure. Is there any other meaning?
A system or a thing used as an example.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me write here. One is representation. Can you give me another meaning? Okay, let me write here. A usually miniature representation of something. Okay, let me write here. Type of design. Okay. System or posture system. Then, okay, can I structure? Okay, structure. What is it? For example, if I have a quick glance at this building, then I find that it goes like this, right? Now this is a structural model of your college building, for example. So what is a model? As you say, it is a miniature representation of something, a visual model. If you see on the next page in your essay, for example, the 3rd page of the essay, Go to the third page of the essay. You will see a diagram there. Do you see? That diagram presents the model of communicative competence. This diagram, I wish I could show on the screen after now. This diagram in figure 1, right on page 345, presents a model. Okay, now come back. So in this text, we will study about various models of intercultural communicative competence. Now, this essay is, in a sense, argumentative essay. And an essay has an introduction, right?
Yes.
And the introduction has opening paragraph, right? And this opening paragraph or any paragraph has a topic sentence. The topic sentence has a topic and controlling idea, and the rest of the paragraph contains supporting details, right? So, as an example, in 1 minute, quickly read the first paragraph silently. In 1 minute, quickly read the first paragraph silently.
Sorry, this
Yeah.
or this.
The paragraph below the title, Model of Intercultural Communication Competence. Read the first paragraph of this essay. You children here. कुनै मोबाइलमा यस्तो काम नगर न, मैले भने काम मात्रै गर. Okay, do not misuse mobile phones. Okay, I'll seize it if you did. If I say check a word meaning, just check a word meaning. Don't do other things. Okay. Did you read? Quickly read.
Travel that once now takes hour. Business dealing that were once confined. Renewally, the local economics have given way to an extensively integrated world.
Done? So what is the first sentence in this paragraph? The world we live in is shrinking. Right. The world we live in is shrinking. So, this is the topic of the paragraph, right? This is the topic of the paragraph, and this is the controlling idea. This is the controlling idea. And together, the whole sentence is known as, what do we call this sentence?
Topic
sentence. Now, why do we call this controlling idea? Because this paragraph will elaborate on the controlling idea. It will say nothing that goes against the controlling idea. For example, let's do the second sentence. Travel that once took months, let me write here. Travel that once took months, what is the next? Now takes hours. Now see, this sentence number 2, let me write S2. S2 means sentence 2. This is S1, sentence 1. Now this S2, travel that once took months now takes hours. So see the idea, the world is shrinking. Sentence 1 says the world is shrinking. Sentence 2 says travel that once took months now takes hours. Does the second sentence agree with this idea or disagree?
Agree.
It agrees. That, in other sense, this sentence controls the second sentence. First sentence controls the
Second sentence.
second sentence cannot go against first sentence. That's why we call that controlling idea. Why do we call it controlling idea? Because it controls the idea in second sentence. What idea? Travel that took months can be finished in hours. So this second sentence means the same thing as the idea of shrinking. Right? Are you getting my point? Now let me write next sentence. Third sentence. Right? Business dealings that were once confined primarily. Let me write here. Business dealings that were once confined primarily to local economies have given primarily local economies have given way to an extensively integrated world economy. Okay. Now check the third sentence and see if the third sentence contradicts with the first sentence, because the rule says that nothing in the paragraph should contradict with the controlling idea. So the controlling idea is the world is shrinking. The world is shrinking, coming together, being smaller. Now read the third sentence. Business dealings that were once confined primarily to local economies have given way to an extensively integrated world economy. The world economy has become part of local economy. The world economy, see the word, see which word does this? Integrate. When something is integrated into something, it becomes one with that, right? So the world economy has become one with the local economy. You can click on a mobile phone and place an email and give an order. You can pay online. So world economy has become one with local economy. Right? The world economy has become integrated with local economy. So this third sentence, does it mean the same as shrinking or does it mean expanding? Does the third sentence mean our economy is expanding or shrinking?
Shrinking.
Shrinking. See, let me write here the opposite of this word shrinking. Opposite of shrinking is expanding. And you will see that no sentence says it is expanding. Now let me write the next sentence. What is the next sentence? Now another important thing. Sentence 1 gives example of travel. Sentence 2 gives example of business. Now go to sentence 4. Okay. Or I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. Information that once traveled through, let me write here. Information that once traveled through error prone and time consuming methods and time
Compress. Expand.
consuming methods now appears in the blink of an eye. Now appears on the blink of an eye across a wide range of media. So this fourth sentence, I mean, S1, S2, now this is S3, this is S4. Which word in S4, which word in S4 means the same as shrinking? There is a word in sentence number 4, which means that the world is becoming smaller. Which word in sentence 4 means, or let me say, which word in sentence 4 means taking time very a long time? Which word? Which word in S4 means taking longer time? Which word in S4 means taking longer time? Time consuming. Okay. Which word in sentence 4 is opposite to time consuming?
Wide range.
Blink of an eye. Yes. The blink of an eye. If something can happen at the blink of an eye, is it expanding or shrinking?
Shrinking.
Shrinking. If you can finish a task at a blink of an eye, it takes less time. It takes less time. And taking less time means shrinking. So do you see S4 also supports the idea of shrinking. So do you see why do we call this controlling idea? Because it controls the meaning of S2, it controls the meaning in S3, it controls the meaning in S4. Now look at S5. Sentence 5. What is the sentence there? Okay. People in virtually all locations, I won't write, then I'll read it, follow me. People in virtually all locations of the globe are more mobile than ever and more likely to traverse into cultures different from their own. Let me write them quickly. People are more mobile and likely to travel into other cultures. So S5, sentence 5 says that Today more people are going here and there, and more people are getting into another culture. Does it mean the world is coming together and shrinking, or does it mean expanding? What does it mean? Does it mean does it mean the world is shrinking or expanding? Shrinking. So do you see, sentence 5 also agrees with the idea of shrinking. Now read sentence 6. Literally and figuratively, the walls that separate us are tumbling down. Let me write here S6. S6. Okay, let me write quickly. The walls that separate us are tumbling down. The walls that separate us are tumbling down. What does wall symbolize? Wall symbolizes separation. When you construct a wall between your house and your neighbor's house, you are separating yourself, right? But if you break down the wall, you come together. So this sentence number 6, which says the walls are tumbling down, does it support the idea of shrinking or expanding?
Shrinking.
Shrinking. So you can see sentence number 6 also has the same idea as the world is shrinking. Number 7. Though we may not have fully become a global village, there is no denying that the various cultures of the world are far more accessible than ever before. Now let's write S7, sentence 7. And what do we read here? It says, we are becoming a global village, and different cultures are coming together. So sentence number 7 says, we are gradually going to be a global village, and different cultures are coming together. These days I see that around the river sides and ponds, very often, at least twice a year, they celebrate what you call the Tarai festival, Chhat. They celebrate Chhat. 20s before, 30s before, I rarely saw Chhat in the valley. Now Chhat has become part of valley culture, part of hill culture. Many people from the hills, they celebrate Chhat, right? Last time I saw in Dubai, a Muslim country, they were celebrating Holi. They were celebrating Holi. And they built one temple also. So what is the point here? Different cultures are coming together and the world is becoming a village. Does this idea agree with shrinking or expanding?
Shrinking.
So we see sentence number 7 also says shrinking. Read next. Next. Just a minute. These contacts ultimately comprise interpersonal encounters. S8. Sentence 8 says there are more interpersonal encounters. Encounter is when you meet somebody for the first time often. When you meet somebody unexpectedly, a stranger, this is called encounter. And when you go to a foreign country, for example, you go to Japan, so you will have encounters with different people. Why we use the word encounter? Because encounter is meeting a stranger in a sense.
Yes.
And many times encounters are not pleasant. They are not pleasant. They end up in something bitter, right? When you meet a person from another culture, initially you have to adjust yourself. This may create difficulty. So do you see, sentence 8 also, which talks about interpersonal encounters. Does it mean the world is shrinking or expanding?
Shrinking.
Shrinking. Now go to sentence number 9. Whether it is the negotiation of an arms treaty or the settlement of a business contract or merely a sojourner giving directions from a native, getting direction from a native, cultures do not interact, people do. Whether it is a negotiation of an arms treaty, okay, let me write the sentence number 9. Negotiation of arms treaty, then business contract, then getting directions. In all these cases, what is happening? Okay. So now look, this is the last sentence of the paragraph, sentence number 9. So what do you say? Whether you are negotiating any treaty or doing a business contract or simply asking for direction, what is happening? People from different cultures are interacting with one another. So sentence 1 says the world is shrinking. First sentence says the world is shrinking. Last sentence says more and more people from one culture are interacting with people from another culture. I repeat again. Sentence 1 says the world is shrinking. Last sentence says more and more people are interacting. So do you see the first sentence and the last sentence say the same thing? Don't they?
Yes.
This is called reiterating. This is called reiterating the main idea, reiterating the main idea in the concluding sentence. A well-written paragraph, a paragraph which is written in a proper way, repeats the controlling idea in the concluding sentence. So let me once explain you the features of this paragraph. So, okay. So what is this first sentence? What do you call the first sentence?
Topic of the paragraph.
What do you call the first sentence?
Topic of the
Topic
paragraph.
sentence. A topic sentence has topic of the paragraph and it has
Controlling idea.
A rest of the sentences known as are known as, what do you call these examples? What do you call?
Topic sentence. Controlling idea.
What do you call from sentence 2 to 9? Let's say sentence S1. Topic sentence 5. From S2 to S8. From sentence 2 to 8, what do you call? Supporting detail. What do you call?
Supporting detail.
What do you call them? Supporting details. What do you call the ninth sentence? What do you call the last sentence? Concluding sentence. S9. And you will see that almost every paragraph in this 12-page essay is written this way. Okay, I stop here. And now at home, go through the essay, and tomorrow's class we have when do we have the next class? Tomorrow. So let me assign where is the attendance sheet?
Down.
This section A. Can I get a pen?
You deserve power.
Okay. So prasamsa what's your number?
Roll number
4. So you will present introduction of this essay.
4. Okay.
And who is, let's say, okay, I got it accidentally. Akriti Dangol. You will present model 1. First element in the model. There are 3 elements. If you check, if you carefully, for example,
फंस गई रे फंस गई कहाँ
you will
फंस
present
गई
integral system, right? Okay, then
Sir, you are seeing.
Sneha Lamsal. Okay, you will present model 2.
Only you are.
This one.
Arrows only is also one, right? You should get chance.
This is model
I will
1.
come to solve.
Model 2. Yeah.
That is not business. They want to. They really want. They are dying to present.
Okay.
Some them go up.
Aniruddha Balaram. You will take model 3. First model is
Arrows, please. Arrows. Please. এটা কি করে জমা?
and wait a minute. Okay. Sneha, you will present conclusion.
You want to know that? Serious.
So tomorrow, 4 people will present simply deduce. Who is given the system 1, system 2, system 3, conclusion. Thank you.